We are going to start this ball game. It is still raining, but Homer Bailey will face the Cubs for the first time this season. And it's been a very rainy few days here for the Chicago Cubs, as they were rained out last night. We waited about 2.5 hours before they called the game in Atlanta. The Washington Nationals haven't played a full game since Sunday. They had a suspended game earlier this week against the Yankees. Then the next night were rained out, and they were rained out again tonight against the Dodgers. They've got a delay going on in St. Louis. And let's check in on the Cubs Southwest starting lineup that will face the veteran right-hander Ben Zobrist in the leadoff spot, playing right. Bryant, Rizzo, Contreras 2 through 4. Addison Russell batting 5th. Kyle Schwarber from nearby Middletown, Ohio, batting 6th. And in left, Javier Baez at 2nd. Ian Happ went to the University of Cincinnati. He's in center. John Lester, the pitcher, bats 9th.
Reds defensively, Duvall, Hamilton, Winker in the outfield. Suarez, Peraza, Jeanette, Votto third to first. Tucker Barnhart won a Gold Glove Award last year. He's the catcher. And the Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher for the Reds is the veteran Homer Bailey, 32 years of age now. He's had a career that's been rocked by injuries. And, it's been a tough go for him so far this year. 1-5 with a 5.59 ERA. That's second highest in the National League.
That one smacked out into center. And a leadoff hit for Ben Zobrist. The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. And because of that hit, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Yeah, you'd love to put a little pressure on Bailey here early. He can't have a lot of confidence as he takes the mound tonight. And he's really been knocked around pretty good this year. In his last 3 starts, he has an ERA of 9. Here in his home ballpark, he's 0-4 with a 6.33. The long ball has been a huge problem. Has the highest home run rate in the National League. He's allowed 12 home runs in only 48 1/3 innings of work.
Facing Chris Bryant, and he drills one out into deep left center. That ball is off the wall. Zobrist to third. Bryant's got a double, and the Cubs in business to start the game. KB is 6 out of 9 on this road trip.
He continues to mash, and Bailey misses his spot trying to go down and away, and this one floats right back over the middle of the plate. And you're not going to get away with that against Chris Bryant. Not the way he's been swinging it lately. Good things come to those who wait after a lengthy delay. Boom, boom, off they go.
1 hour and 33 minutes for the delay. 70 degrees at game time. And it's Anthony Rizzo. Last 4 games, 0 for 11 with 4 walks. Good numbers against Bailey. And ball 1.
Yeah, overall he's having a pretty good month of May. You know, had a nice homestand, got the average up over 200, and sputtering here the last few games. Outstanding work against Bailey. 409 lifetime.
Anthony's line drive rate is down this year, but his batting average on balls in play, 186, would indicate a correction at some point.
Yeah, that's the batting average balls in play can be affected by soft contact, but and also luck. And when it's that far below league average, that speaks a lot to the luck factor, I believe.
One and one on Rizzo. Second and third, nobody out. Swing and a miss. Went after the high one and couldn't get it. Jim Reynolds, the crew chief, is back at the plate. Pat Holberg, Ben May, and Chicago area native John Tumpane on the bases.
Well, Bailey's been around a long time. Cubs first faced him back in 2007. Because of the injuries, you know, recently, a lot of the Cub hitters don't have much of a book on them.
Into the corner, just foul by a few inches.
Wow, tough break. There you go. Hard contact. Would have been an extra base hit. Played it too. And Hyde's getting the news from the video boys. Foul ball. Play on.
Still 1-2 on Rizzo. Rain falling a little harder now. There's a base hit. Zobrist scores. Bryant got a good jump, but with nobody out, Brian Butterfield will play it conservatively and hold him at third. So the Cubs get their first run of the year here in Cincinnati. And it's 1-0.
Backdoor slider. Up above the knees. A good solid approach by Rizzo, shooting this ball the other way.
So they're at the corners for Wilson Contreras. Single, double, single to start the ball game.
Cubs have dominated the season series against the Reds in recent years, and they've had a lot of fun in this ballpark.
Yeah, the Cubs have, over the last 3 seasons, not including the one game played in April, 2015 through 2017, 40-17 against the Reds. Best mark by any team versus a division opponent. And they've won 20 of their last 29 in this ballpark. Contreras went around, and it's 0-2 on him.
Tried the Javi self-check. So we've seen Bailey climb the ladder with that elevated fastball for swings and misses. The thing about Bailey, when you consider all the injuries he's had, you figure his in the numbers, the high ERA, all the home runs, you figure, well, his stuff's got to be really down, but it's really not. His velocity's right around where you normally would see it.
Hit hard but foul to third. Nice pick by the ball dude down there.
They made a big commitment to him, and you see the numbers he put up 2009 through 13. A winning record, a 3.39 ERA. He was durable, made a lot of starts, but since signing that 6-year deal, he's only made 58 starts and has not had a lot of success.
1-2. Reds pitching has allowed 3 runs or fewer in 7 of their last 9 games. Their bullpen in particular has been really good. Their rotation ranks near the bottom of Major League Baseball with a 5.39 ERA.
Yeah, last in the National League, better than only 3 American League clubs.
They've got a familiar face running the club in the dugout, former Cubs manager Jim Riggleman, who was Brian Price's bench coach. And they've gone 12-14 under Riggleman. On the ground and through for a base hit. It's 2-0. Bryant scores. That is 4 consecutive hits to start the game.
This time Bailey gets a relatively soft contact, but Contreras finds a hole.
They've got a new pitching coach as well, Danny Darwin. Pat Kelly now the bench coach. And here's Addison Russell. And he takes a fastball low. Well, John Lester deserves a lead before he pitches tonight, considering all the rain delays. That's the way I look at it.
I'm sure he would agree with you.
The last 4 times he's been scheduled to pitch, it has rained, including tonight. A Sunday night game in St. Louis. And a long delay before the first pitch against the White Sox. Rained out last night, and an hour and a half of delay tonight.
So what do we got there? We got 4 games in about 48 hours, right? And less.
Yeah.
With the day nighter tomorrow and then a day game on Sunday. All goes according to plan. There's a mutual off day on Monday. Should the weather impact any one of the games remaining for this weekend set. I really want to contemplate that. But
hope you brought enough pairs of socks and other things. Drilled out into center, base hit. Rizzo around third. And he will score. 3-0. Still nobody out. RBI hits by Rizzo, Contreras, and now Russell.
You talk about an ambush. Russell's been really good lately. Barrels that one up. Billy Hamilton airmails this throw home, and that allows everybody else to move up.
So here is Danny Darwin, who had a 21-year major league career. And I'm not sure what sort of wisdom he can impart here.
Yeah,
but he'll try to help his pitcher get out of this inning as Kyle Schwarber will stand in. Mentioned Brian Price got fired. They were 3-15 when he was let go. And again, they played a lot better under Jim Riggleman. I talked to Jim before the game. He said, look, we had injuries to Suarez and Schebler early in the year. He said, I stood right next to Brian and he made what I thought were the right decisions. It just didn't work out, and it's the kind of record, if there is one early, that might get you fired.
Yeah, and you see it happens from time to time. A manager will get whacked in the first month of the season. Expectations were not high here, but I think the losing was coming so frequently that the ownership just decided they wanted to change things up. If nothing else, maybe to appease the fan base.
And you know, Brian was not in his first season here, and they had struggled in previous seasons. That's Jackson Stevens up in their bullpen. Price was in his 5th season managing the Reds and coming off 3 consecutive last place finishes. Fouled back by Schwarber. So it's already 3-0, but you know, we're at that moment here in the opening inning where you kind of feel like you can almost end the game here if you can come up with another big hit.
Pulled ground ball to the right side, gets 1 in and 1 over. That's not going to get it done.
Infield pop up will be caught by Peraza. Bailey gets a Bronx cheer, and the batter will be Javier Baez, the NL RBI leader. Tough road trip at the plate. 1 for 8 with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, it's been a tough go for Javi here over the last couple of weeks plus. Falling into some bad habits, old habits. A lot of chase, swings and misses out of the zone, and then he gets caught in between. He takes pitches he would normally do some damage with, so he just needs to kind of relax and try to force a pitcher into the zone.
First pitch strike. I mentioned the first game of the season between these two teams was on April 2nd. Tyler Mahle beat Tyler Chatwood 1-0. And we're used to seeing the Cubs score a lot of runs in this ballpark, but they only had 2 hits that night, including just 1 off the starter. Tonight they have 5 hits, and we're in the top of the first. The 0-2, and he got him. So Bailey has gotten Schwarber and Baez with runners at second and third. Now 2 outs.
Broke out the slow curveball there to get the swing and miss from Javi. Had a couple pitches in that at bat to hit. He took the first pitch slider that was in the zone, then missed an elevated fastball. That's good execution of a 2-strike breaking ball there.
Ian Happ has been intentionally walked, and it'll beat John Lester with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Jim Riggleman, you hate to walk that 8-hole hitter, but you can understand in this situation with 3 runs already in, he's just trying to give Bailey the easiest path possible back into the home dugout. Now, throws him a little cookie fastball here. Big John will take a whack at it.
Outfield not very deep. Hamilton plays a shallow center, and a ground ball right at Scooter Gennett. So I guess a little bit of a moral victory for Bailey. The Cubs get him for 3. And Lester will take the ball with a 3-run lead when we return.
To experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
Over the last 23 games, beginning on April 23rd, the Reds lead the National League in runs as we check in on their Southwest starting lineup. Peraza, the shortstop. Scooter Gennett, one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Suarez, Votto, Duvall, and Winker in the middle. Tucker Barnhart, an underrated catcher, batting 7th. The pitcher hits 8th in their lineup, with Billy Hamilton batting 9th.
Cubs defensively, here's how they're deployed tonight. Kyle Schwarber plays left field. Ian Happ is your center fielder. Ben Zobrist plays right. Ryan and Russell man the left side of the infield. Baez and Rizzo got the right side covered. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate, and the Lexus experience amazing starting pitcher is John Lester, who is now 3-1. His 2.66 ERA, good for 10th best in the National League. Opposing batters hitting .232 against him. He is 2-1 with a 3.66 lifetime here at the Great American Ballpark.
First pitch strike on Peraza. 9 for 20 lifetime against Leicester. Ninth start, 5th on the road for John. And his 105th assignment as a Chicago Cub.
Peraza's been good against him. Hamilton's been good against John. Oh man, good try.
Four-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champ, twice with Boston, once with the Cubs. Two and two now. Jeanette and then Suarez. Joey Votto hitting cleanup tonight for the first time since 2014. Popped him up. Short right. It'll be Ben Zobrist for the out.
And Jim Reynolds is going to go out to have a chat with John Lester. Reynolds wants to nip it in the bud. John, after that 0-2 pitch, kind of walked off the mound like he had him punched out. Gave him some bad body language, a little double take, and Reynolds, after the ball was put in play, walked about halfway out to the mound, basically to tell John, "Hey man, let's not go there tonight."
Jeanette, last week's National League Player of the Week, during which he batted .591. And it took a week like that to win it ahead of what Wilson Contreras did.
Yeah, Scooter's been quite the story the last couple of years. Developed all this power.
To illustrate that, 456 career games with Milwaukee, hit 35 home runs. He's hit 34 already in 183 games as a Red.
And this is a very hitter-friendly ballpark, but obviously he's made some adjustments.
Well, his nickname is Scooter. Maybe he should change it to Slugger.
Yeah, be a good suggestion. Although maybe if he remains Scooter, he can sneak up on some people.
Yeah, Scooter makes him sound like a light-hitting fast guy.
You're going to challenge Scooter when it's 3-1, but you're not going to challenge Slugger in that. 7 long balls this year. He's batting .342 against left-handed pitching.
Lester into his motion. The 2-2 is lined to Bryant. 2 down.
Right now in that Reds dugout, Homer Bailey shaking his head. So why couldn't they do that against me? Life isn't fair, Homer. You know that. Especially baseball life.
Eugenio Suarez had been dealing with a sore right ankle, and their lineup came out later than usual just to make sure he was good to go. He has the best on base plus slugging against lefties in baseball, 1664.
Yeah, he's batting .458 against southpaws. Not a huge number of at bats. Enough to get your attention, though.
Missed 16 games in April with a fractured right thumb. So this is the first time Votto's been in a Reds lineup in 5 years or so. And there's no guarantee he'll bat in the first inning. Here comes a 2-1. And now 2-2. Every once in a while, as you mentioned, you'll see John elevate, but typically stays down in the zone.
Yeah, his fly ball rate is up a good bit, and obviously along with it the ground ball rate way down, and I could be happenstance, but I think it's by design because the elevated fastball is becoming more of a weapon with so many hitters emphasizing launch angle, trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. His game is still going to be mostly east to west with that sinker cutter combination.
And our player profile brought to you by AARP, and that graphically shows you what JD was talking about with that fly ball percentage. There's a fly ball down into the right field corner. It's pretty well hit, and it is foul. Foul ball. He had home run distance. The wind is not doing much of anything at the moment. You see it's maybe a couple of, well, not even a foot foul.
You're going to bring your glove, you got to make the catch.
Another 3-2 pulled foul. Suarez is surrounding the field with extra base hits, but foul.
Yeah, he missed a home run by a foot. He's just missed a double by what, a couple of feet. Jeanette hit a rocket for an out. Hang with them, boys.
Good battle brewing here.
Yeah, you can tell Suarez is seeing him really well. Just his swings, is very confident, really letting that bat head fly. The thing about Suarez, he'll take his walks too, because you get a guy taking some pretty good swings at you. You think, well, maybe I'll throw a changeup down around the ankles or bounce a curveball, see if I can get him to chase. He might, but he might also just go ahead and take the walk.
Hopefully it stops raining here soon, because looking at the infield dirt, starting to get a little shine on it. They're going to have to do some work tonight to keep this field playable if it continues to rain.
Yeah, grounds crew will be out there just about every half inning, doing some diamond dry down and making sure everything is playable. Busy night for those guys.
Another 3-2 and another foul.
Suarez, whether he reaches or not, doing a nice job here, taking a bite out of John, making him work awfully hard here in the bottom of the first.
Here's the 11th pitch to Suarez, and he walks him, and that will bring up Joey Votto. Yeah, John's walks have been up a little bit this year. Slow start for Votto, but heating up.
Yeah, that's been a trend of his in recent years, and another MVP caliber season last year for him. He'll be there again this year.
I retweeted a link to terrific Q&A in The Athletic He chatted with Enos Saris, and he's a real thoughtful guy in terms of his craft, and he says it takes him a bit each season to find his swing. And the most interesting thing he said is his goal, his overarching goal, is a scouting report that says he has no weakness anywhere in the zone. You know, there's usually one spot in the strike zone that you can exploit, and he said, I want other teams to look at me on a scouting report and say he's strong in all those places.
Yeah, there's no one zone where you can consistently attack him. So it's kind of like Tony Gwynn back in the day. You just never know where to go.
3 balls, no strikes on him. Make it 3-1. Now that sounds like an obvious statement, right? But you are giving up a few things when you try to be that type of hitter. You might sacrifice some power in certain spots. Really chokes up here, even in a 3-1 count. Now 3-2.
Yeah, and I think that's with a lefty on the mound. He has struggled so far this year, hitting a 196 against left-handed pitching.
The rain is not letting up. If anything, it is intensifying. And we are just getting started. An hour and a half late. There goes Suarez. Called strike 3. Nice comeback by Lester. And Votto.
He's guessing breaking ball.
Boy, he's yelling at himself as he heads back to the dugout. The Cubs lead after an inning, 3-0. It's been a real tough go at this level offensively for Billy Hamilton, but he can go get them with the best of them in center field and a couple of great catches earlier this week in San Francisco.
Yeah, this one in particular, just spectacular. The cool part about the first one was to plant the foot in the wall and make the throw back into the infield.
Breaking ball strike on Ben Zobrist. He led off the game with a single and scored on Anthony Rizzo's RBI hit. One ball and one strike. Here it comes. 1-2. Bailey, an opening day starter for the first time in his career. I'll give you $10 if you can name the Reds' last 3 opening day starters.
Anthony DeSclafani.
No.
He was supposed to be, and he got hurt.
That doesn't count. Behind home plate, it's Tucker Barnhart.
Battle in the raindrops.
Right, I'll give you another try.
Michael Lorenzen. Sam Ellis.
Johnny Cueto.
Oh, Johnny Cueto.
Raisel Iglesias, who's now their closer, and Scott Feldman, the former Cub.
Feldmania.
Yeah. How long would it have taken you to get those 3?
Well, I would have gotten Cueto. I probably would not have gotten the other 2 for half an hour or so. And I would have had to cheat.
We might have the time to do it. Ball 1 to Bryant. Double and a run in the first. He has terrorized Reds pitching in his career. And he's ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, one of the things Danny Darwin, their new pitching coach, may have told Homer Bailey was to start to mix things up a little bit, because he has done that, throwing the curveball, and also maybe pitch inside a little bit. Guys were very comfortable in that first inning. There we go. That was a big part of Danny's game. He was not afraid to pitch inside.
You see the numbers for Chris against the Reds. He slugged almost 600 against them. That's a strike. He played 81 games in this ballpark. I'm thinking he'd probably be a 45 to 50 homer.
Yeah, I was going to say 50.
Bailey with a 2-2, and he got him. All right, I have another. I'll give you another question. Maybe you can redeem yourself. And you might have seen it, so you can cheat without telling me if you'd like. Homer Bailey has the 3rd longest tenure of any major league pitcher with his current team. Can you name the 2 guys who've been with their teams longer? As Rizzo takes low.
Well, he's been here since '07.
Right. One is in the American League, one is in the National League. That is a strike.
How long has Kershaw been in LA?
Not as long as Bailey.
See, I phrase that as a question as opposed to a guess.
As opposed to giving me an answer. 1-1 is low and outside. 1 pitches for Seattle.
Oh, Felix
Hernandez. The other just went on the DL for the 3rd time this season.
Wainwright.
Adam Wainwright. That's it. And then Homer Bailey.
Well, wasn't the story here at the time that they had to decide who they're going to pay, whether it was going to be Bailey or Cueto, and they decided to give the long-term deal to Bailey and let Cueto walk? I guess that they traded him, right? Before he walked. So dangerous, you know, and if you're going to compete in the major leagues these days, you have to take some shots. You have to sign some players to long-term deals, knowing that there's chance of injury or poor performance kind of sabotaging the deal. He's making about 21 million, something like that this year.
Only Joey Votto makes more in this current Reds roster.
He's got 1 more year on his deal and then a mutual option for 2020, and feel pretty confident in saying the Reds are not going to exercise their part of that deal.
Yeah, they're paying Votto and Bailey a combined $46 million. Nobody else on their roster makes more than 6.
Yeah, and I don't know the whole financial package here with the Reds, but it's not a big market. The attendance is not good.
Those two guys make half their payroll, so that tells you a lot. And in Votto's case, he's earned it, but it's what's been around him here the last few years that has been the issue.
Something he's been fairly vocal about of late.
3-2 on Rizzo.
We've had 3 consecutive last place finishes. 68-94 last year, 68-94 in 2016, 64-98 2015. They're averaging about finishing 33 games out of first place.
I don't think there's any question Anthony Rizzo has taken a few pages out of Votto's book, one of them being the choke up with 2 strikes. Kyle Schwarber in the past has talked about modeling his game a bit after Votto's. Driven out into left center. Duvall will grab it. And Bailey, after that rough first, goes 1-2-3 in the second. It's 3-0 Cubs.
Baseball at Wrigley Field. Be a part of it all season long. Everybody in. The Cubs return home next Tuesday to face the Indians. Tickets for that 2-game set are still available at Cubs.com. That would be this coming Tuesday after a scheduled off day on Monday. Couple with the Tribe, and they are in first place in the AL Central, but dead even at 21-21.
They're in Houston this weekend. I wonder if Trevor Bauer and some of their starting pitchers will have any chats around the batting cage.
I saw a picture on Twitter somebody posted of Bauer standing in the Cleveland dugout, and he took tape and he put Tyler over the top of his name, so he's trying to disguise himself as Tyler great. Bauer as opposed to being Trevor. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, on Twitter, he's very active, and he made some accusations that maybe the Astros pitchers are gaining an unfair advantage, applying some kind of sticky substance to the baseball, which is allowing them to get such good spin on their fastballs. And
Duvall shoots it foul.
This guy can play down here.
He's made 2 really good plays.
Oh my goodness, with the shades, are you kidding me? And then watch this. I didn't even know the shades initially, but the best part, watch the nonchalant flip. Like, been here before. This is nothing exciting. It's not even close to my best.
And a nice backhanded play. And a bouncer in the first inning. 2-2 on Adam Duvall. Playing left, batting 5th. Got him on a cutter. Back-to-back Ks for John. Now Jesse Winker.
Do you think there's been a Winkler-Winker matchup yet this year with the Reds and the Braves?
I like that. Curve for a strike.
Yeah.
So the rainout in Atlanta last night will be made up on August 30th, which will make that a 4-city 11-game road trip. On a bounce, it's Baez.
Another hang with him for the Reds. They've had some hard contact, not much luck, and probably well positioned to handle that hot smash.
So with that makeup game in late August, that'll be a 23-day stretch without an off day. Last night was the Cubs' 6th postponement, already the most for the Cubs in a single season since 2015. Their first 5 this year came in a 15-day span beginning here on April 3rd. Barnhart a switch batter and takes strike 1.
Yeah, it's really a double whammy because you get the days off because of the weather, and you always have a few scheduled days off early in the year to try to accommodate weather. But so you have this start and stop sense to the beginning of the season where it's tough to get into the flow. And then at the end of the year, where you'd really like to have a couple days off,
there's too much flow.
You're playing every single day, and guys are running out of gas, and that's going to be a challenge. The stretch you're talking about, that return trip to Atlanta, that's the second last trip of the season.
Swing and a miss. John Lester sharp here over the first couple of innings. He's got a 3-0 lead.
Chicago's favorite sports trivia show, where fans are put to the test for a chance to take home cash. Play along Sunday at 7 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Doing a little work out there on the mound. Rain has lightened up. We were delayed 93 minutes before the first pitch. The Cubs then started the game with 5 consecutive hits and lead 3-0 as they'll bat against Bailey here in the 3rd inning.
You're wondering what he was hammering there. He's reattaching the that thing, the little deal where you wipe your spikes off on. Well, I don't know what the name of that would be. The little deal that you clean your spikes off with.
That I like it. Yep. That's exactly its name. Contreras swings and fouls. Kyle Hendricks will pitch game 1 tomorrow. Jose Quintana game 2. Cubs facing all right-handed starters in this series. Luis Castillo and Sal Romano tomorrow. Tyler Mahle will pitch for the Reds on Sunday against Yu Darvish.
Castillo, their game 1 starter tomorrow. He's the only guy in the league with an ERA higher than Bailey's. And he's got a big arm and a bright future, but that's kind of been the story with the Reds here the last couple of years, of some young arms trying to figure it out at the big league level, and they have not had a lot of success with it.
The Verizon projected Cubs starters. And that ball smashed into center. Contreras is 2 for 2.
This one was not hit all that sharply. That one was. He's been finding the barrel a lot lately on the backside of that ball, and cruises on down to first base. Now this situation here, wet outfield. You don't want to take anything for granted. You want to make sure you go hard down the line.
RBI single for Russell in the first. Batting over 300 over his last 17 coming in. Ground ball, right field, base hit. 2 on, nobody out.
Down, but over the middle, and Russell foot down in time to deliver the blow.
Schwarber popped to the shortstop with runners at 2nd and 3rd. His first time up.
To say that the Cubs offensively have been feast or famine this year is probably a little bit extreme, but it's been interesting to say the least, in that they've had some big games, some big blowout games. They've had stretches where they've really struggled, and you could probably say that about just about every team, but for them it's been a bit of an extreme.
Cubs have scored 10 runs or more 8 times. They've scored 8 runs or more 13 times. This is in 40 games. They've scored 0 or 1 9 times. Contreras, bottom of your screen at second base. Russell's at first. Peraza playing right at the bag. And the pitch outside. Bailey's from Texas. LaGrange.
Phenom in high school. First round pick, number 7 overall in 2004.
Two no-hitters. September 28th, 2012 in Pittsburgh. July 2nd, 2013 versus the Giants. And if you look on the long list of major league no-hitters, those were back-to-back. So he threw the final one in 2012 and the first one in 2013.
The case with Jake Arrieta's 2 no-nos?
I believe so. And so I was going to say he does have something in common with, I guess, Jake Arrieta and Johnny Vandermeer, right? It wasn't back-to-back starts, but when you look at the major league list of no-hitters, you see Bailey and Bailey. And Jake's second one was in this ballpark. Three and one.
Kyle's been in a little bit of a funk here of late. A lot of strikeouts.
All right, you ready? Sham Pro Cleat Cleaner, according to Twitter.
Okay.
That's what you call that contraption on the back of the mound. You can get one on Amazon for about $25.
We had one at home. It was like a porcupine. You should put a porcupine back there in the back of the mound. Steel quilled porcupine. Mentioned Schwarber's struggles here late. Seems to me he's been rung up on some tough pitches out of the zone.
Bailey getting good use out of the cleat cleaner. Big pitch coming up. Full count, 2 on, nobody out. And Barnhart will finally head to the mound.
Yeah, going through a lot of signs, and Cubs have a base runner at second base. Maybe he's wary of this deep into the sequence, and maybe Contreras is picking something up. Probably more than anything, just a conversation to make sure they're fully committed to what they want to do here. Change the indicator. Jeanette wants to know.
So Homer, Scooter, and Tucker will break up their meeting.
It's almost like they're trying to ice a free throw shooter here.
The 3-2 is outside. He walked him. They're loaded with nobody out.
That's a big key for any offense. Certainly the Cubs, the willingness to accept the walk. That's been an issue at times this year.
Pitch is smothered by Barnhart. Max Scherzer, by the way, threw a no-hitter after Arrieta in Los Angeles.
So Jake did not have consecutive.
He did not. Should be 2. Cubs will get a run. No RBI for Baez. 4-6-3, and it's 4-0. And what's left now is Russell at third with 2 outs. So Happ will be intentionally walked for the second time. That's a weird one in our game where the offense scores a run, but the pitcher probably is slightly happier or less upset than the offense is, right? Because he got 2 outs.
With the way things are going tonight, that's a good trade for him to get 2 outs, and then you can walk Ian and face John again here. It's set up where it was definitely going to be a crooked number. It felt certainly like it was going to be a crooked number. Now it was a pretty good shot at getting out of here, allowing just the 1.
First and third, Lester takes a strike. Milwaukee is in Minnesota this weekend, and the Brewers, at last check, had a 5-0 lead in the 6th inning. Pirates are down late, bottom of the 8th at home against the Padres, 3-2. Phillies and Cardinals, it's raining in St. Louis. Phillies won 6-2 last night. The Phillies are 17-2 outside their division. They started the night a half a game behind the Braves, who trail at home against the Marlins 2-0 in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Cubs get 1. They leave 2 midway in the 3rd. It's 4-0.
No matter where you serve or when you served. T-Mobile presents Hats Off for Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Visit the Cubs Authentics auction page every week for your chance to own one-of-a-kind Cubs items. This week's auction includes items from the Mother's Day game and the White Sox series. Go to Cubs.com/authentics before this Sunday at 8 p.m. to place your bid. The Cubs will donate net proceeds from the sale of Cubs Authentics to Cubs charities.
Head groundskeeper was out chatting with Jim Reynolds for the second time between innings. And rain coming down a little harder again. But we play on. Bailey, Hamilton, and Peraza here in the Reds' third. Career 161 for Bailey. Ironically, without a homer.
Non-homer Bailey. John, regardless who's in the box, is usually trying to hit a corner. He doesn't throw many over the heart of the plate.
Swing and a miss.
Time he did, but with a cutter. Stuff looks good tonight, and showed the ability to throw that bigger curveball on 0-0 last inning. And got away from him, but normally when he has command of that curveball, good things happen.
Yeah, it's always been a dubious claim that certain pitchers pitch to the score. But John Lester would be the anti that, right? Called strike 3. Doesn't matter the score, the situation. He always tries to make his pitch, and he made one there.
Yeah, that's the way Clemens was. That's the way Ryan was.
Justin Verlander. Another brilliant performance last night. Or was that 2 nights ago? I don't even remember now. I think I was going to talk about it last night and didn't.
Last night didn't happen.
His ERA is 1. Hamilton, strike 1. 1.05 is Verlander's ERA through 10 starts. Yeah, Wednesday night. By the way, is Mike Moustakas getting married this weekend? Or I keep hearing about a royal wedding.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, that must be it.
I'm in baseball mode here, so swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Are the Royals home this weekend? They should do that. They should.
They are. They're playing the Yankees
at their ballpark. Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Hamilton chased one. John's got a strikeout pitch working tonight as you enjoy a Cold Miller Lite. Look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
A strikeout high for the year for John, 7. He did that against the Cardinals back on April 19th. Looks like he's going to blow by that here tonight. Most he's ever had in a game, 15. It was against the A's back in 2014.
Bounce to third, backhanded by Bryant, and he will get Peraza. And contrary to the rumors out there, the Cubs will not be wearing bowler hats tomorrow in honor of the royal wedding. 4-0 they lead after 3.
Is that a thing? on Wednesday, game 2 of that series. That would be the 23rd. Game time 7:05, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a Cubs Star Wars t-shirt presented by the Vanilla Baking Company. Tickets are available, Cubs.com. It's always interesting when Cleveland comes to town.
Sure is. Here's Ben Zobrist, World Series MVP 2016. Jeanette down to a knee. Good to see Johnny Bench on the field before the game.
Yeah, he was over here in the Reds radio booth a little bit ago.
And Joe Morgan, a couple of baseball Hall of Famers. Bryant fouls at the plate.
There's JB. Nathan's Hot Dogs sponsored a hot dog eating contest before the game, and Johnny was got the ceremonial first pitch. That's why he's wearing that shirt. It's not bowling night for Johnny, in case you were wondering. That's on Tuesdays.
Into left. Bryant will hold with a single. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, I made this point the other night, and it bears repeating. You watch him hit these days, and it's like the analogy I used the other night. It's like a free throw shooter who's about 90% from the line. He's not always going to get a hit, but he's almost always going to have a good at bat.
One out base runner for Rizzo. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching and streaming the Cubs on NBC Sports Chicago via Cascom in Central Illinois. Rizzo fouls. 24 career home runs against the Reds, his most versus any opponent. Really bunched the middle in the infield. Suarez basically at the shortstop position. A lot of room over there on the left side. But Rizzo was trying to park that one in the right field stands.
Yeah, he took 2 very big swings. And now he'll likely go into choke-up mode. Career-wise in this ballpark, Anthony just a .226 hitter, but a lot of damage, 16 home runs, and since the beginning of 2016, he's a .273 hitter with an OPS over 1,000 here. He's had 8 home runs in that stretch. Kind of what you would expect, though. He's a really good hitter, and the Reds have had a lot of bad pitches. This has been a home away from home of sorts for the Cubs. And if they're scuffling and they're headed to Cincinnati, they normally get things turned around.
Yeah, there's a bit of an irony, I suppose, in terms of the Bryant Price era. Former longtime major league pitching coach. And the biggest problem they had was their pitching. And there's a drive out into deep right. It'll be caught on the warning track by Winker. Rizzo just missed one. His 2 outs have been hit really well. Contreras 2 for 2. Has knocked in a run, has scored one as well.
Oh man,
way up in the air. And that'll do it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Cubs 4 and the Reds nothing. And to celebrate, we're giving away a VIP weekend, including Lollapalooza VIP tickets to Thursday and Sunday, plus tickets to watch the Northsiders from a suite on Saturday. Enter for your chance to win at NBCSportsChicago.com/VIP. John Lester has given up only a 2-out walk in the first to Eugenio Suarez. He's retired everybody else. Scooter Gennett lined to Bryant, his first time up, and takes a curve low and outside. 4-0 Cubs in the 4th.
Now John working quickly, working with purpose.
And Gennett pulls it foul. He is the Cubs' all-time postseason leader in innings pitched with 64, all coming over the last 3 postseasons. That's all he's known as a Cub, playing deep into October. A left on left changeup. Still 1-2. That was a pitch you were always heard you can't throw, right?
Yeah, nobody threw that back in the day. Same sided hitter.
Rizzo just can't get it. Good effort. Gennett has the Reds' first base hit.
He got robbed of a base hit last time. He had a rocket towards third base. Chris Bryant made the play on him, so he stays red hot.
The Cubs High A affiliate, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, they were in Frederick, Maryland. They got postponed tonight. The Double A affiliate, the Smokies, at home postponed tonight.
It's raining all over the world.
It is. On Suarez is a strike.
It's been all Cubs here so far, but dangerous part of the lineup here. And when the ball jumps in this ballpark, let's get right back into it here. Suarez has power.
Good play by Contreras. The Reds have been pretty efficient in terms of base running this year. 20 out of 25 in stolen bases. That's the best percentage in the NL, 80%. Pretty good lead by Jeanette. Not going. Bounce to third. Bryant gets one. They get two.
Suarez is jogging down the line.
I didn't think that looked like a double play.
He must have slipped
off the bat, but it turned into one.
Well, and especially Chris had to back up. Then it took him a little while to get the handle on this ball. A little stumble by Suarez, but still not really pushing it hard down the line.
Well, you know, he had,
the ankle thing, though, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Tweaked his right ankle the other night, so that's probably why he wasn't.
I'm sure they've told him not to push it.
A great sequence in the first inning, as Lester went 3-0 on Votto, and then 3 perfect pitches to get him.
Well, just look down at Contreras as if he was double crossed. Like, I'm not supposed to throw me that pitch. He is grinding here.
Time for our Old Dominion, bringing his best, Joey Votto, over the last decade. One of the best in the game. One of 2 Reds all time with at least 1,000 walks. Pete Rose is the other. And the next intentional walk he takes, he'll tie Johnny Bench for the club record. On the ground, Rizzo's got it. Votto's 0 for 2. And the Cubs lead this game 4-0 at the end of 4 from Cincinnati. Chicago Cubs into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Cubs out hitting the Reds 8-1. 5 of those came to start the game. Russell has 2.
Batting average up 30 points since May 3rd for Addy.
Recently hit his first homer of the season. And takes ball 1 from Homer. Cubs are 8 for 19. Make it 9 for 20 tonight against Homer Bailey.
A 3-piece for Addy.
Here's Schwarber. Second time Russell's had 3 hits in a game this season.
One to center, one to right, one to left. How do you defend that guy?
And some assistance from the first base coach, Will Venable. Some great additions to the coaching staff. That ball hit a ton out into the alley. And it bangs off the wall. Russell's going to be set by Brian Butterfield. Relay throw is off the mark and late. A double for Schwarber. It's 5-0 in the 5th.
A walk last time. This time he gets something to swing at. Two-seam fastball sinking down and away, and he does exactly what you're supposed to do. Hit it into that alley in left center.
Well, 109 miles an hour off the bat. So 5-zip. The Cubs doing it tonight without the benefit of a home run to this point on 10 hits. And only 2 extra base hits, right? 2 doubles. Stevens up for the second time.
The odd innings. And then the magic innings for the Cubs. 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the 5th, looking for more.
Awkward swing there by Baez. 0-2. Day-nighter tomorrow. Noon and 6 Central. Rain in the forecast here in Cincinnati through the year 2023. But we'll find a way to get them in. At the moment, it looks like the night game might be more of an issue in terms of rain than the first contest.
Oh, yeah, it started 10 in the morning. Barnhart's really good back there.
Yeah, he won a Gold Glove last year.
Not throwing people out this year like he did last year. Then maybe on the pitchers a little bit, but in terms of just the mechanics back there, blocking balls, pitch framing, he's got real good hands.
They traded his backup Devin Mesoraco recently to the Mets to acquire Matt Harvey. So Tony Cruz is now the backup. Let's see him in the start tomorrow.
Tough stretch for Javi and a tough night so far. Strikeout, swinging, and he bounced into a double play with the bases loaded in the third. A run did come home on that play, but obviously he was looking for more.
Pirates down to their final out, trailing the Padres 3-2. In the bottom of the ninth, they brought up their top prospect, Austin Meadows. He's got 2 hits in his major league debut tonight. I think that game now has just gone final, 3-2. Pirates, even with the loss, have won 8 of their last 10.
This might be a little bit of an illusion. Looking at their record today, they're 18-5 against sub 500 clubs coming into play tonight. They've played a fairly soft schedule, and they shouldn't have to apologize for beating bad teams, but they played a lot of them. Cubs have only played 11 games against teams with losing records.
Bounce to the shortstop, Peraza. He thought about third, but will get the out at first. So Schwarber 90 feet away with only 1 out. So we'll check out the NL Central standings. So Pittsburgh, with that loss tonight, could drop out of first place as the Brewers have a lead in Minneapolis. 6-1 in the 7th.
Cardinals put Carson Kelly on the disabled list. Catching depth chart is really being tested here. Green is out for a while. Now Kelly on the DL. I believe he's got a hamstring issue.
Ian Happ getting a chance to hit for the first time. 2 intentional walks. Infield in. Happ has the best batting average in baseball on ground balls. He's 7 for 14 so far this season. He's in a 2-0 count. He's from Pittsburgh, but he went to college here in Cincinnati. I did not see his oh, they're going to walk him again. Did not see his guest stint on the Weather Channel.
I saw a little clip of it. Yeah, it was good.
Did he predict that we would be postponed last night?
I don't recall. I don't think he made any predictions. He just kind of gave us the lay of the land on the weather map and what was headed our way.
And I don't think the game plan coming in, as kind of you referenced earlier, was as Lester on a safety squeeze bunts foul. The game plan for the Reds coming in was to walk Ian Happ at every possible chance. It's more about what Bailey's night has caused.
Yeah, it's what the game situation has presented, and that's what Riggleman has done. The Cubs tried the safety squeeze there. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try it again.
Throw to third, and Schwarber got back in safely.
That's good heads up base running there, because in this situation, you know, you're focusing your attention on home plate. Safety squeeze is not a must go situation, but it's a must get a pretty good jump to give yourself a chance to go once the bunt is down.
Well, that's a lot of hyphens.
Yeah. Semicolon dot dot dot.
I want to see that transcript.
If you're sitting in a bar somewhere, you're reading it right now going, what?
Pulls it back. So this is not a must go. It's a must. You better get a good.
Yeah, it's not a must go. It's not a suicide squeeze where you're completely selling out as the pitcher's delivering the ball. But it's a read play, and when the bunt is down, you're supposed to try to score, but the only way you can do that is if you get a halfway decent jump.
And that pickoff attempt at third is pretty rare.
And that's tightened him up a little bit.
There's the bunt. Schwarber toward the plate. Bottles only plays first. Sacrifice for Lester, and he'll get his second RBI of the year. It is 6-0.
I don't think this happens if Anthony Rizzo is playing in the infield, because I think Anthony's probably 10 feet away from the bunter in that situation. But maybe the more important play was Peraza not taking a shot at Schwarber when he went to third base. Conservative plays on both counts. But when you're down 4 or 5 runs in the ball game, it's probably a time to be a little bit more aggressive trying to nail a lead runner. I don't think Votto had a play, but I think Peraza might have.
Zobrist looks at a strike. Happ now at second base. 2 runs in here in the 5th.
Now, people always pose that hypothetical. If you needed one person to win this game or do this job, who would you pick? If I needed one guy to get a bunt down for me, I think John Lester would be my guy. And I'm not just talking about the Cubs. I'm talking about everybody we watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Zach Davies is a pretty good bunter. Might be a few other starting pitchers who we don't see that often, but yeah, he's really good at it. Two balls, 2 strikes.
I can't believe this is the end of the line for Homer here tonight.
That's not strike 3. Jim Reynolds said it was low.
I wasn't sure. I didn't see him do anything, and they both walked off. I thought maybe he had given the verbal call and hadn't signaled yet. I mean, this is pretty interesting because first the take is incredible because that's a tantalizing pitch. That's hard to lay off that one. Zoe's like, where are you going? Get back here.
Sets up a 3-2, and he walked him. Now he's got to deal with Bryant again.
No, he doesn't.
You
Somebody
are correct.
else's problem.
Jim Riggleman out, and he's going to make a double switch, it appears. So time for a pitching change in the 5th. 6-0 Cubs. We'll be back.
green, a little bit of red, not very good. Early, we're going to be okay. We're going to get our batting practice in, but we're going to see game's going to start. It's going to get a little dicey towards the end. And we're going to go over to Pittsburgh, where I'm from. Typically in Pittsburgh, it's raining. You can see right there, rain. But tomorrow for the game, they might get it in. We're going to have a little maybe, a little iffy towards the end. That's pretty typical for Pittsburgh. I'm Ian Happ with the weather. Ian Happ here with the weather from the Chicago. Try again. Doesn't look like we're going to get our game in. Just kidding. That was bad. Let's try again.
Oh, good stuff. He's got a future, but I think maybe 15, 17 years down the road after his playing career is over. Jackson Stevens to Chris Bryant. And this is our BioFreeze call to the pen, official external pain relief of the Chicago Cubs.
Stevens has been a starting pitcher throughout his minor league career. A little bit of time with the Reds last year and a handful of appearances this year.
Alex Blandino now playing third. Suarez done for the night.
It's an early double switch to double switch a guy like Suarez out of the game with his power when you're down 6 runs.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder. Riggs is thinking he's got the tender ankle.
Yeah.
We've got 3 more games this weekend. We're down 6-0. Get him off his feet.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Blandino looks a little bit like Anthony Rendon, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. Similar hair.
Blandino out of Stanford. Maybe tussled with Chris Bryant when KB was at USD.
2-2 ground ball. It is Blandino, and they'll get the out at second base. Cubs chased Bailey out of the game with 2 more here in the 5th and lead 6-0.
Cubs play the Giants. First pitch will be at 7:05, so it's a Sunday night game. Up to the first 20,000 early arriving fans receive a Cubs reusable tote bag presented by MLB Network. For tickets, Cubs.com. Tote bag, and you didn't even have to make a pledge.
Totes my goats. Leicester with a 6-0 lead. Adam Duvall high in the air and deep. Schwarber back at the wall. He watches it go. A home run for Duvall. Reds on the board with just their second hit.
Old school baseball, the thinking was if you're down a lot, you take pitches to try to work walks to build yourself a big inning. That isn't the way most guys roll these days, and certainly not a guy like Duvall with his power. So he picks on that first pitch fastball and just enough to knock it out of here. It's your Ford home run replay. Number 9 for Duvall, who was an all-star a couple years ago.
Back-to-back 30 homer seasons for Duvall. Ball 1 to Winker. Make it 2-0. Winker made his debut last year. Still just 24 years old. John Lester's 34. Debuted as a 22-year-old with the Red Sox, 2006. .6'4", 240. 2-2.
Winker not happy with that call. He has a point. Might have been a little low.
Jam shot, roller, and Rizzo, can he recover in time? He does. Way to stay with it.
Anthony may have thought that ball was hit more sharply than it was. A little out of sync there, but a nice recovery to get the out.
The Brownsburg, Indiana native, Barnhart. Mr. Baseball in Indiana, 2009.
Another guy that played here that won that award a number of years ago, Scott Rowland.
Yeah.
So those curveballs just aren't curving, so you got to get the right one from the umpire.
Former Cub Clayton Richard was Mr. Football and Mr. Baseball in Indiana. First player ever to win both of those awards.
Was he also the valedictorian?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It's kind of unfair, really.
Let's see, Jeff Samardzija, who was a runner-up to Clayton for Mr. Football, and then was named Mr. Baseball. So Samardzija too. He had a better college football career, so I guess he can crow a little bit. In Indiana, the real coveted award for many years was Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, it's basketball first state. Yeah.
This game will be official after the third out here in the fifth.
Homer Bailey tonight, 4 2/3, 10 hits, 6 runs, all earned. 5 walks, but 3 of them were intentional. He struck out 3. Maybe his biggest problem was just in the zone and in the middle of the strike zone too much. He threw 88 pitches, 61 for strikes. He threw strike 1 to 21 of 28. So you see that profile, you know, well, he's being aggressive. He's getting ahead of the hitters. He's throwing strikes. Strikes sometimes are overrated.
Yeah.
If they
10 of those strikes ended up hits.
Yeah.
Lester having a tough time putting away Barnhart.
You look at Fangraphs or some of those other sites, and they give you percentages on individual game logs for pitchers. And a lot of times, the really good games, what you'll see, a guy throws high percentage of first pitch strikes, but his zone percentage will be low. He doesn't spend a lot of time in the strike zone. He gets the jump on the hitter, then works off the edges.
This time he gets him. Make sure you follow our Cubs insiders on NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. Well, it'll be a waterlogged John Lester tonight. And he's hoping it comes in a victory, and he's got a 6-1 lead here in the 5th. Alex Blandino. Strike 1.
It could be bone dry, and it would be a waterlogged John Lester.
That's a good point. He's
he
a
can
good
lather
sweater.
with the best of them. Yeah.
Fouled off.
He can really bunt, he can really sweat, and he can really pitch. Looking to go to 4-1. Came into this game with a 2.66 earned run average.
Has been the anchor of a rotation to start the 2018 season as a Cubs opening day starter, and that's a strike, and that's it for the Reds in the 5th. They get the leadoff homer from Duvall. That's it, and we'll go to the 6th. It's 6-1 Cubs. It's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. Cubs waited an hour and a half before jumping all over Homer Bailey in the 1st inning. 5 consecutive hits to open the game. RBI hits by Rizzo, Contreras, and then Addison Russell. We're now in the 6th. It's 6-1. 1 ball, no strikes to Anthony. He's had 3 really good at bats, 1 for 3. Driven foul to right.
You see the zone trap being deployed by the Cincinnatis. Whoop. Here's Joe Madden over there trying to encourage Riz.
Another line shot for an out. Man, oh man, he's 1 for 4. And all the outs have been squared up. Keep doing that, Anthony. You'll be fine.
Cub fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Members FDIC.
Contreras with 1 out takes inside, ball 1. 2 doubles for Eric Hosmer. And the Padres 3-2 win at Pittsburgh. Starling Marte went to the DL. He's got a strained oblique. That's why the Pirates brought up Austin Meadows to play center. One and 2.
Breaking pitch there from Stevens. It's his best secondary pitch. I mentioned a starting pitcher in the minor leagues. He's got a starter's mix: fastball, curve, slider, and change.
And the outfield grass will be gathered in by Jeanette. Russell already 3 for 3 as he walks up for the 3rd time, or the 4th time. It'd be hard to be 3 for 3 in 2 plate appearances. A 6-2 righty to the plate. Fastball in. Orioles just beat the Red Sox at Fenway 7-4 the final.
2 outs, nobody on. You like to do a little damage here, get an extra base hit. Good curveball again.
It's Jake Arrieta pitching for the Phillies tonight in St. Louis, so that's a familiar ballpark for him, but now wearing a different uniform. Ground ball towards center, base hit for Russell, 4 for 4. What a night. And as you mentioned earlier, he's covering all fields. Hey, Matt Carpenter's 1 for 1 on Jake tonight, by the way. So maybe he just needed Arrieta to change his uniform.
That's funny. Matt Carpenter got pinch hit for by Mike Matheny in the ball game yesterday. That's how bad things have been for Matt Carpenter this year. And how about that? 4th time for a 4-hit game. First time this year.
Cardinals lead the Phillies 1-0 in the 3rd. Curveball inside. We'll see the Phillies at Wrigley Field in early June. We've got a new manager, Gabe Kapler. Russell got a big jump. Yeah, you're 4 for 4. You got to steal some bases too.
Here's your extra base hit. Turn the single into a double by stealing a bag. A little while for the big right-hander to unload. I mentioned earlier, Barnhart has not been as successful throwing out base stealers this year. He's below league average. He's got 19%. League average is about 28.
The game is over in Atlanta. The Marlins beat the Braves 2-0. Two bounces to Votto, and he'll underhand it to Stevens. So the Cubs do not score in the 6th. Russell, however, picked up his 4th hit, and it's 6-1.
The 6th upcoming. Cub fans, join the Cubs season ticket holder waiting list today to claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Curve for ball 1 on Hamilton, batting 9th in the Reds order. He struck out in the 3rd. He's had good success against Lester in his career. Corner men in. 2-0. I'm going to give a shout out to Fred Fritz Deuce, longtime Cub fan. He's got a 100th birthday coming up in June. Decorated World War II veteran. Has been awarded 3 Bronze Stars and 2 Purple Hearts.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
A life well lived.
Austin Bryce. Swing and a miss.
No food up there.
Hamilton, since his first full season in 2014, has put up the worst OPS among all qualifiers, 629. And looking at Baseball Reference, his defense has been twice as valuable as his offense, according to the WAR number. 6.4 wins above replacement. Defensively, 3.2 in his career with the bat.
So that becomes the debate, right? Is he worth enough defensively to justify everyday playing time? It's kind of what the Reds have been trying to figure out now for a while.
Yeah, I think hitting down in the order, 9th, especially if you're on a good offensive club where you can get it from other places. And as you said, that is not where the Reds want him to hit the ball. I guess you don't want anyone to pop to short, but yeah, you want him to hit the ball on the ground and run.
I still believe that his best spot would be on a really good club as an extra outfielder and a guy you could insert into a game as a pinch runner. Imagine what a weapon he would be in a playoff series.
Now the other question is, should he drop switch hitting? But if you look at his career splits, it's pretty even. It's not as if he's been great from one side and really bad from the other.
Kind of surprised he didn't bunt tonight. John pitching, wet grass.
Yep. Two and 0 on their leadoff man Peraza.
I'd love to get as many outs out of John here tonight as possible with a doubleheader scheduled tomorrow.
Crank deep and foul to left.
This 5-run lead, if they choose to, they could push John a little longer than they normally would.
Another ball in the air.
That's what we were talking about earlier. How the increase in his fly ball rate is pretty significant over last year and over his career norms. And again, I think a lot of it's by design. The elevated fastball has been a good weapon for him. And despite the increase in fly ball rate, he's not giving up a lot of home runs. The one Duvall hit, just the 6th he allowed this year.
Left matchup. Jeanette waves at strike one. Scooter was born in Cincinnati, lived in the area until his family moved to Florida when he was 9. I don't think we can underplay how good John has been now these last 3 starts pitching around the conditions. Again, 2 rain delays a couple of starts ago in St. Louis. 5 1/3, 2 runs. And no doubt the delays part of the reason he came out early. 5 2/3 his last start, 1 run and a win against the White Sox. 92 pitches, and that came after a 2-hour-plus delay before the game started. Thought he was pitching last night. We got rained out after waiting for 2.5 hours. And then an 1.5-hour delay tonight before he got to work. So I guess we're just hopeful on Wednesday we're okay, right? Weather-wise.
He is due for a break.
Here is tonight's attendance.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
22,060. 22060.
The early forecast looks good for Wednesday night.
So raining is hard now as it's been since the ball game started.
Yeah, and it's an inexact science, but we probably could have started somewhat on time. During the delay, I don't think it rained even this hard. And it has pretty much rained throughout the night. Three and 2.
That's a nasty pitch. Just missed that outside corner. If you're a hitter and you're protecting against, a breaking ball, there's no way you're going to get to this fastball. So you just take it and hope for the best. It was just off the edge. Good call by Jim Reynolds.
Swing and a miss. Lester fans Jeanette. He has been terrific tonight. The Cubs lead 6-1. Day at Wrigley Field. All participants who purchase tickets through the Cubs Community Nights page receive a Pride-themed Cubs trucker hat. A portion of proceeds will benefit the LGBT community. For more info, visit Cubs.com/community nights. Still raining, and we continue on. Cubs batting in the 7th inning. John Lester is due up 3rd. He has made 99 pitches through 6.
Looks like his work is done.
Yeah,
so
I think
he's
so.
heading up the tunnel.
Yep.
Great, outstanding performance by John tonight.
2 hits, 1 run, just the Duvall homer. 8 strikeouts. So he faced 20 batters. He gave up 3 base runners. That's Justin Wilson up in the bullpen. Well, you really hope we can get through these final 3 innings without a delay. But that infield dirt, noticing in the corner there behind third base, it's getting a little tricky.
Well, the greens will be more receptive.
A roller to Peraza, and he'll beat Baez. Toast of the game, presented by Benny's Beverage Depot, goes to Big John Lester.
Yeah, really good stuff from John tonight. When he's on his game, it's in and out, command of the fastball, a good cutter down and in. Just the occasional get over curveball and give the hitter something else to think about. And Beautifully executed safety squeeze as well to drive in a run.
Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Outside on Ian Happ, who has actually seen now just 3 pitches, but has been intentionally walked 3 times. Andre Dawson, I believe, took 5 against the Reds. Lou Piniella just didn't want him to swing the bat back in 1990. That's a fair ball. Happ towards second. He is safe on all 4 times tonight.
Finally gets a chance to swing, and something good happens for him. Fights his pitch out, flips it the other way. Good hustle to get into second base.
That'll bring up pinch hitter Albert Almora to bat for Lester. Great catch, robbing Tyler Flowers the other night in Atlanta of at least a double, maybe even a home run. It was close.
He's made a number of them, but that might be the best one he's made this year.
Also started the game-winning rally with a 1-out double on Tuesday. The catch came Wednesday night. Broke his bat. That ball slowed down by the pitcher Stevens, and Albert is out. Head first slide on a close play at first. And he thought he was safe. I don't even know if he knows he was called out, but he's convinced he's in. I think they got him, and they did.
They're not going to challenge.
So 2 down, a runner at third, and the batter is Zobrist. 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Swing and a miss. Forgetting the definition of my own made-up stat a few years ago. I think Stevens is qualifying for a tourniquet.
Feels like it.
Yeah, the theme of the stat was saving the bullpen in a blowout situation. Multiple innings. And he's gone 2 so far and hasn't allowed a run in relief of Homer Bailey. This one hit hard but foul.
Imagine the Reds in a perfect world. Let's see some improvement from Homer Bailey to the point where maybe a team in contention would take a shot at him. But with the numbers he's putting up now, that's not going to happen. If he could turn it around between now and the trade deadline, they might be able to move him. They probably would, no doubt, would have to eat some of that contract. The thing about Homer, you know, we saw 94, 95.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's still in there. It's just location is not good.
I think as intriguing is Matt Harvey. What if Matt Harvey has a nice run this year? Would they have a possible suitor for him. Cubs will not see him this weekend. Sharply hit grounder, backhanded by Peraza, and the throw is in time. 7th inning stretch from Cincinnati. Cubs 6, Reds 1.
Friday, September 7th. Tickets are on sale now, so don't miss your chance to see Billy Joel at the friendly confines. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com/concerts.
Some alterations to the Cubs defensively here. There's a new pitcher, Justin Wilson. Almora stays in, and he'll play center field. And that will move Ian Happ over to left. Kyle Schwarber done for the evening. Looks like Albert's played all night, but that's just from the headfirst dive into first base.
Had to make up for lost time. Got to get the uni dirty. Justin Wilson's been on a pretty good roll of late. We'll deal with 3, 4, 5 here in the home 7th.
And 3 is the pitcher.
Not much of a 3, is it? Although maybe he can swing it.
Well, he's 2 out of 6 as a big league hitter. That's the .333 average. .178 career minor league batter. So not bad.
Not bad.
That's not why he's hitting.
Blandino's already in the game. They got Herrera, a switch hitter, Schebler, left-handed bat, and Cruz, the backup catcher, on the bench.
Swing and a miss.
Good looking hack.
Boy, Stevens, though, a guy career .333, might tell him, hey, Skip, I don't want to ruin my batting average.
Sit on that for a while. Take it to arbitration in a couple of years. It's one of the downsides of carrying so many guys in the bullpen. It leaves you with fewer options off your bench. And I mean, it's a comfortable lead for the Cubs, but it's not unreasonable, you know, for the Reds to make a run here, down 5 runs in the 7th inning. And even though Stevens looks like he can handle the bat a little bit, I think he would prefer to have a legit hitter up there.
Votto went 0 for 2 against John Lester. Votto carrying on a conversation with Wilson Contreras. Would love to hear that chat. Three and one.
Yeah, I get the sense that Votto is always trying to pick the catcher's brain. Like, you didn't do that before. Why'd you throw that? What's
3-2. Votto looks like a guy would just be completely mentally fried after every game.
I was just thinking that. I don't know that I've ever seen a hitter put as much energy into an at bat as he does.
Another 3-2 from Wilson, and that's ball 4. Duvall homered off Lester to lead off the Reds' 5th. That's their only run to this point. It's 9th. Charlie Morton improved to 6-0 with a 194 as he beat Mike Clevenger tonight. Houston 4, Cleveland won the final in Houston. Brewers beat the Twins 8-3 at Minnesota. Royals over the Yanks 5-2 the final in KC.
Astros are 1-2-3 in the American League in ERA. Verlander, Cole, Morton, all sub 2.
Incredible.
Verlander's got a 105. Garrett Cole 1.75. Morton a 1.94. And just wondering if that's ever happened before. I'm guessing not. They're collectively 15-3 now.
Jacob deGrom tied his career high with 13 strikeouts. Mets beat the all of a sudden struggling Diamondbacks 3-1. Well, the Diamondbacks, a missed opportunity here with the way the Dodgers have been struggling.
Diamondbacks stopped scoring. They've had a hard time scoring lately.
7.5 out. They could be like 12 or 13 out. One and 2 on Duvall. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A strikeout, walk, strikeout for Wilson, and now it's Winker, the right fielder.
It's 10 strikeouts for Lester Wilson combination here tonight. Reds been pretty good in that regard. They'll take their walks. Of course, that's always been a big part of Votto's game. Winker, Barnhart, Duvall, Votto, Suarez, all better than league average when it comes to taking walks.
And this is a game that, and we say this occasionally, it feels like it's 12-0. The Reds are one swing away from all of a sudden
That's
getting
why I was
back in the
surprised
game.
when Stevens took that at bat, and Jimmy knows his club better than I do, and who's available, and what his bullpen situation is like. And again, the fact that he brought Blandino in earlier in the double switch kind of limited his options, because Schebler probably his best pinch hit option, but he's a left-handed hitter. Probably precisely why Joe Madden brought Wilson into the game.
Yep.
The Herrera kid, I don't know. Rosell Herrera is a switch hitter.
Switch hitter. Saw him a little bit in spring training.
To me, though, this the 6th and the 7th inning is the time to really go for it, because once you get into the 8th and 9th and you're down, with the way teams close out games now, it's usually hang with them.
Right. So instead of saving your best, and we've seen that from Joe on occasion, where he'll use Tommy La Stella a little earlier than typically you use your top pinch hitter, and I think for that very reason. Foul tip, strike 3. Nice work from the lefty Wilson. 3 strikeouts in the 7th. Cubs 6, Reds 1.
To catch every moment this season, get Cubs home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
22,060 the paid crowd. Weather has chased many of those away tonight. Split doubleheader tomorrow. A lot of Cub fans here in Cincinnati this weekend. Strange season series in terms of the schedule. We'll be back here in June. The Reds don't even come to Wrigley until July.
Yeah,
so
and
all 3 of their trips will be late.
Yeah, we'll be done coming here.
Stevens out here for the 8th inning against Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras. Pretty wet track at this point. We started An hour and 33 minutes late. That's Justin Hancock up in the Cubs bullpen. We have not been interrupted once we got started. And the 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3.
Challenged him and beat him. Just 2 for 5 tonight. Just the 4th strikeout recorded by Reds pitching. And trying to go away with it. The old cement mixer cutter.
Rizzo the batter. 1 for 4 with good contact throughout the night. Breaking ball is rolled foul. Hefty home run time. There you see your season leaders. Baez the only one to this point in double digits, but I think all 5 of those guys will be there probably before the break. There's a base hit. He's rewarded, and he's 2 for 5.
Someone made a play on that one. He would have needed therapy.
That one might get him back up over 200. And it does. It gets him to 203.
That's where you want to have the microphone, that conversation right there.
Into center. 3rd hit for Contreras.
They're doing a ton of slugging, but they're doing a lot of hitting. It's 14 hits for the Cubs tonight.
And 4 of those belong to Addison Russell. Average up to 273. Looks like a confident man at the plate, doesn't he? Jason Hayward off the DL today is on deck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was responding to something Barnhart said, like, I have no idea what to throw you.
The 1-0 is outside. He's hitting for average. He's taking his walks here as of late.
Yeah, there's been so much gnashing of teeth about the Cubs in the leadoff spot. Maybe this guy gets a look at it. Got an on-base percentage now up over 350.
I have no doubt he could do it. See, I don't think that the Cubs' issue is they don't have a leadoff hitter. They just don't have one guy Joe's going to use 150 times in a season. Zobrist doesn't play every day anymore. Almora starts more against lefties than righties. Those are 2 guys who've done it a lot.
Yeah, and Zobrist profiles as a guy with the patience and the ability to take walks.
Bases loaded.
That's why with Addy and the play discipline he's showing.
Now Jason Hayward, and what I notice about Jason as he walks up is how bright his uniform is, because it hasn't been raining on him all night. The Cubs gray uniforms look a little darker for the guys who've been standing on the field all evening. Good to see him back from the concussion DL on the Fowler game-ending home run a couple of Sundays ago. banged his head on the wall, and read some of his comments to reporters before the game as he skies to center. Rizzo tags, and he's going to hold. Jason said, you know, I'd never been concussed before, and not that I didn't think it was a big deal, but going through it, he said it's really scary. He said something just wasn't right. Here's Baez.
For 4 for Javi, a strikeout and 3 times on the ground. Chance to salvage something here.
Pitching by Wilson. 1 inning, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 1 inning, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, the quote from Hayward, that stuff is scary. You don't feel like yourself, and you don't see anything wrong with you physically, but there's something that's not right. Two strikes to Javi. Broken bat roller. Peraza's going to have to hurry. Safe, and it's an RBI infield hit for Baez, who knocks in his 37th run. Nice salvage what had been a frustrating night for him and a frustrating road trip to this point.
At this stage, you take anything. A broken bat base hit here. Good hustle down the line by Baez.
And it is a Gallagher insurance run to make it 7-1. Happ 3 intentional walks and a double. Way high for ball 1.
Well, Javi getting that base hit. Everybody, all the position players in the starting lineup have hit safely tonight. Good team performance, contributions up and down the lineup. 15 hits, 6 different individuals have driven in a run tonight.
Starting pitcher went 6, gave up only 1 run. Justin Wilson struck out 3 in the 7th.
Well, Stevens is in a bit of a bind here. Bases juiced, 3-0 count.
Now 3-1. Pirates lost tonight. Brewers won. Cardinals leading 5-0 after 4 against the Phillies. This will get back to the seats.
Just doesn't want to sell out on that fastball. A little bit behind that 3-2 heater. Bad approach. Stay a big part of the yard with your thinking here.
Swing and a miss. Cubs leave the bases loaded for the second time tonight, but they've got a 7-1 lead here in the 8th. Zobrist will go over to the other corner outfield spot. And rookie right-hander Justin Hancock.
Been pretty busy since coming up from the minor leagues. Pitching for the 5th time. No wins, no losses. A 3.38 ERA.
Tucker Barnhart leading off. Batting from the left side for the first time. He struck out twice, batting right-handed against John Lester, and takes ball 1. Up and at him early tomorrow for a day-night doubleheader.
Should have just brought an air mattress and a sleeping bag to the ballpark.
Hey, guess what? It has stopped raining. I think it's the first time since the first pitch has been thrown that it's completely stopped.
Folks are loving it.
Yeah. Three and 1.
22,060 here tonight. Normally the Cubs are in town. The Reds draw well. They're averaging a little over 16,000 per game. In the National League, that 16,948, better only than Pittsburgh and Miami. The Marlins are averaging 10,000 per ball game.
Swing and a miss. Good comeback by Hancock. Rough night for Barnhart. 3 strikeouts.
I think we've earned free pizza or something with all these strikeouts.
Typically, it's only when the home team strikes out. 11 or 12 or whatever it is.
Yeah, there's some magic number. A couple Hall of Famers celebrating birthdays today. The great Brooks Robinson and Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Brooks, maybe the best fielding third baseman ever. Probably combined for about 30 All-Star games between them.
Robinson 81. 18-time All-Star. Reggie 72, 14 All-Star games.
32 All-Star games. And it couldn't be any more different in terms of their public persona. They have Robinson very understated and Reggie anything but. Reggie signed as a free agent with the Yankees. He said, I didn't come to New York to be a star. I brought my star with me.
Hancock has fallen behind Blandino.
Throw it in there, see how far he can hit it.
One out walk. And the batter is Billy Hamilton.
Joe Madden hoping for no drama here late. Two ball games tomorrow. He would prefer not to have to use Cishek or Strope or Edwards or Morrow here tonight.
Hancock was a starter to begin his career. Now working out of a big league bullpen. Called strike 3. That's the second out. Hamilton didn't like the call by Jim Reynolds. You be the umpire.
Well, it's funny, it was kind of in the same spot as ball 4 was to Blandino, but Blandino from the right side, it was kind of just a different look for the umpire. And again, it showed up in our grid. It didn't look strike-ish.
As is usually the case, Hancock, you know, he was 92, 95 as a starter, but 95 plus now, pitching in shorter stints. Joe Madden loved what he saw in spring training.
Yeah, managers get excited about bullpen options that throw 97 miles per hour. So here it is in our pitch cast in the zone, but one you normally see called, but maybe it'd be a good thing if it were called more often.
Hancock lets it go by him, and Baez will step on second as Blandino really had nowhere to go. Off to the ninth. Rain delayed night. Cubs leading 7-1.
Chicago, watch the rematch of the 2016 World Series. Coverage from Wrigley Field begins at 7, or you can stream the game live on the NBC Sports app.
Austin Bryce, the first person born in Hong Kong to play in the majors. He made his debut with Miami a couple of years ago and came over in a deal that involved Luis Castillo, who will start one of the games tomorrow for Cincinnati.
At the high school in North Carolina.
Two and nothing on Almora. Zobrist and Bryant also due here in the ninth. He missed badly. 3 balls, no strikes.
Funky delivery. Mr. Bryce likes a slider. Fastball averages 94 miles per hour.
I could be wrong as he walks Almora.
It's simple.
But just based on observation, anecdotally, I feel like over the last 5 or 6 years, the Reds have had the biggest bullpen in baseball in terms of huge men. Bryce 6'4", 235. They've had some big dudes.
Yeah.
Aroldis Chapman,
J.J. Hoover. Jumbo Diaz.
Yeah, they had a big, tall right-hander I'm blanking on that I'll come up with.
Got Jared Hughes out there now. He's what, 6'7"-ish.
Blake Wood, 6'5", 233. Was in their bullpen at one point. This is bothering me.
Todd Coffee. You got to turn the clock back a little bit to coffee talk.
There's one guy in particular I'm thinking about, though. I'll come up with it. Well, they had Jonathan Broxton.
There you go.
Logan Ondrusik. That's who I was thinking of. 6'8",
Yeah,
230.
what happened to him?
Remember him?
Yeah.
I don't think he's pitching in the big leagues these days. Three and one on Zobrist. Back-to-back walks to start the ninth.
Not a recipe for success. Walk, walk. Now you got to deal with Rizzo. From the Marlins in the Dan Straley deal also brought Luis Castillo to Cincinnati. He'll start game one of the doubleheader tomorrow.
As you mentioned, he's got a high ERA. Drifting is Hamilton. Almora will tag on the play. Cubs without a home run tonight. They're too shy of 14,000 home runs as a franchise. I don't think it's a big stretch to think they'll reach that at some point this weekend with 3 more games to go.
Very home run friendly ballpark.
First and third for Rizzo. Okay, so here's the drama that you were talking about that Joe Madden would like to avoid. As you see Mike Montgomery watching from the bullpen. It is fireworks night, but according to a local ordinance, they cannot start the fireworks after midnight. So that is 13 minutes from right now. So the fans who have stuck it out all evening, they're hoping somehow this game ends in the next 13 minutes.
So you know what you do if you're the Reds? You shoot out the fireworks anyway and you pay the fine.
Oh, I love it when you spend other people's money. That will get by Jeanette, and it's 8-1. Could have been a double play. Instead, the Cubs add to their lead. It'll be an error on Jeanette, but another hard hit ball for Rizzo.
Just all night long, Anthony. Squaring it up. This one just eats up Jeanette, but he was trying to position himself. He didn't get in front of it because he wanted to be able to catch it and pivot and to make that feed to second base. Couldn't handle that hot hop. You can't deny these folks that have hung in here all night in all this rain. They're fireworks.
I'm with you. Rizzo does get his second RBI of the night. He had the go-ahead RBI in the first. 1-1 on Contreras.
He's got himself 3 singles. So he gets closer and closer to 300. That's a good slash line there, man. 369 on base, 507 slugging percentage.
2-1. You know, I cannot forget Sean Marshall, because he might be watching. Sean and his family live in Chicago. 6'7". He pitched for both the Cubs and the Reds. Another power forward who pitched in the Reds bullpen. Hit hard on the ground. Blandino gloves, and that's a 5-4-3 double play. So this game could end before the stroke of midnight. 8-1 in the ninth. Who probably would have gotten a start tomorrow had we not been rained out last night in Atlanta. But he stays in the bullpen and will try to get the final 3 outs.
Follows Wilson and Hancock, who are both very good. Since the 5th inning, including the 5th inning, the Reds have put the ball in play 5 times, and one of those didn't stay in play. It was the Duvall home run to lead off the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Outside corner on a fastball to Jeanette.
Aside from the home run, just 4 balls put in play from the 5th inning on.
Tony Cruz on deck.
You got me to thinking, Len.
Okay.
Where's Jonathan Broxton these days?
What do you got?
I don't see him in a big league roster.
Last pitch for St. Louis.
Last year, pitched 20 times. I don't know if he's hurt or if he just took it to the ranch.
He has not pitched at all this year, even in the minors.
I've expected to see him show up in Pittsburgh. Been a Red, a Brewer, a Cardinal. Figured he was going to make the tour of the NL Central.
Two on Scooter Jeanette. It's funny you say that. I was looking back the other day at the Cubs 2016 roster, And everybody who made an appearance for the World Series champs. Foul just behind home plate. You ready for this?
Yep.
This is 2 years ago. These guys all pitched on a World Series champion. Do you remember that they actually did? Gerardo Concepcion.
No.
Left-hander. Joe Nathan made 2 appearances.
Joe being, Joe passing through.
But if I just had said
name the pitcher,
name the pitcher with however many saves who made 2 appearances, you wouldn't have remembered. Probably
not.
Joel Peralta made 5
finger. Yeah, former Ray.
He made 5 appearances with the Cubs that year.
Now about Dylan Floro, who's in the bullpen with the Reds. We saw him. Was that last year?
Was a Cub. Yep.
But the Broxton thing, and Ron Coomer and I were talking about this the other day. There are some guys when they retire, there's a big announcement. They retire and everybody knows it. It's a stalwart career. Most of us just kind of fade away, and some announcer says, "Hey, whatever happened to that guy?"
Right.
And then we look him up on Baseball Reference. Oh, he hasn't played in a couple of years.
3-2 on Jeanette. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. I got 2 more names I'm going to throw at you from 2016. Ryan Kalish and Tim Fedorovich.
Yeah. I obviously remember them both. Kalish was there a little bit the previous year.
If I had asked you to name every member of that team that you could remember, those guys, it would be like, was that year?
Yeah.
But yeah,
no chance.
World Series champions.
I look at rosters of clubs I played on, and I go, I didn't know I played with that guy.
Right.
Cross paths with somebody that remember we were together in such and such a year. No, I don't.
So 45 guys played for the Cubs when they won the World Series.
And and how neat is it for some guys who some of those guys you're talking about had good major league careers or are still in the mix, but that journeyman type guy, 4A type player who's mostly a minor league guy, gets a little bit of big league time and manages to land in the right spot at the right time, where he plays on a team that ultimately wins a World Series and he gets a ring. And
but it really underscores just how fast it goes, not only for players but for broadcasters too. It's easy to remember a guy when he comes up with another team like Dylan Floro if he pitches this weekend, but yeah, some others we may never see in person in a baseball uniform again. Oh, I like the Tony Cruz batting stance. A little Aurelio Rodriguez.
Yeah, and maybe with a touch of Gary Sheffield.
2 down. Montgomery with back-to-back strikeouts, and it'll bring up Joey Votto.
The clock is ticking, Cinderella.
Well, Votto's probably the last guy the firework fans want to see at the plate, because he'll typically grind out a 7 or 8 pitch at bat.
Surprised they're not chanting, "We want fireworks." Take one for the team, Joey.
One and one. Cubs pitching 15 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, pretty good chance if you get 15 hits and strike out the opposition 15 times, you're going to win a ball game.
Winning percentage should be about 1,000. Yeah. Two and two. Those 15 strikeouts, a season high for the Cubs staff. Bounce back to the mound. This will do it. Cubs win. Cubs win at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a good night for the Cubs. They had to wait a couple of days to play this game as they got rained out in Atlanta last night. Great work by John Lester, and the offense jumped all over Homer Bailey.
Yeah, good.